Yes, Dr. Grenzmer. How may I be of assistance to you? What? You say a patient has escaped? We were staying at Golden something or other. Anyway, what does it matter now? The boats have rolled up their coloured sails. The city is like a hinge. In the morning its glass girders are flush with light that gets drained in the afternoon. But then something funny happens. The westward-looking buildings reflect the sun's rays more fiercely than they are projected. They become a rival sunset in the east. That's heresy, or at any rate bigamy. Tall buildings to suckle fools and chronicle small beer. Such is my story. But I'm glad to be having this chance to tell it to you, even though we are in a silent movie and can only speak only words painted with milk. Yet someone comes to care about them. There is always someone to care, somewhere. But the sheriff vandalizes the day they return. I didn't let you dream about it. It is for this I'm being punished, by reforms harder than the ones in Congress. They have rules to go by, sins to atone for. I have only weightlessness and a vague feeling that I should be spending my time doing other things. Sweeping the apartment, washing out a child's mouth with soap. It was nugatory. They fed us delicacies while we waited for the order of quilts to arrive. Or was it kilts? Joshua had this haunted feeling he'd never finalised it at the start, when all should have been beginning, but instead was pleased to slosh around in mid-harbour. Anyway, there were invoices. Of that he was almost certain. And a number of girls came and stood round the tree in which he was sitting. Were they the ones who had placed orders for the kilts? Or were they mere raisin fanciers? You'll see, when the weather gets dry and yellow, the raisins will form all by themselves, alone on the branches, and no one will care. And those that like to eat them real fast out of boxes won't have a clue as to why that old horse collar is draped over a branch of the weeping willow, causing it to weep, that is, bestir its leaves, even harder. Some people somewhere are prepared for a few things to happen, but that's not counting us or our immediate families. An apple-green boxcar slithers along a distant railway, yearning for something unnameable at the end of the canyon. Not a handful of raisins, probably, but you catch my drift. Soon, all was drift. They had a feeling they had better go inside, yet none could make a move in that direction. All remained transfixed. Tell them, the skull continued, but only if they ask how the situation came about. We'll see then what jury will convict me, because I feel like a woman trapped in a man's body, but only a little. Not enough to want to wear a skirt, but enough to make me feel like putting on a kilt. And even then, only in Scotland. If I should be so lucky as to find myself there some day. Tremors stirred the little band. There was obvious sympathy for his plight, mingled with something more acidulous like pickling spices. And all the girls turned away to weep, but were changed to ivy and stuff like that. Why am I telling you this? To assuage my conscience, perhaps? Hoping the bad dreams will go away, or at least become more liberally mixed with the good, for none are totally good, or bad, just like the people who keep walking into them, or the scenery, familiar or obvious though it be. Besides, I've raised one major issue, or at least credit me with that. It'll be a long time before this turns to nothing. And in the meantime, we can sit upon the ground and tell sad stories of the lives of pets, as the ground freezes and thaws many times. It is past caring. And what goes on within us will be inscribed by the dancing needle on our chart, for others to consult and be derived from. I thought it would all end casually on a bank of flowers, but alas, a real bank was growing out of it with tellers and guards who liked the flowers.